Throughout history, a select few families have controlled vast fortunes, so immense that they shaped entire economies, influenced governments, and built empires that lasted for centuries. These weren't just rich individuals. They were dynasties, passing down wealth and power like a family heirloom. From the banking titans of medieval Europe to the oil barons and industrial giants of the modern age, their influence stretched far beyond their bank accounts. Who were these families? How did they amass such staggering fortunes? And what became of their legendary wealth? Let's dive into the stories of the 5 richest families in human history, tales of ambition, strategy, and sometimes scandal. Starting with number 5, the Mars family. The candy firm Mars Inc. is owned by the Mars family, an American family. Fortune magazine named the family the wealthiest in the United States of America in 1988. The Koch and Walton families have subsequently overtaken it, and in 2016, it was listed as the 3rd wealthiest family in America. Additionally, Mars Inc. increased its sales of beverages, gum, and pet care items. When the company bought Chappell Brothers, a dog food manufacturer established in the United Kingdom in 1934, it started to push into industries other than sweets. Since then, Mars Inc. has seen a significant increase in that buy. They currently own well-known pet food brands like Royal Canin, Whiskas, and Pedigree. The Mars family has many members on the board of directors and is active in the candy industry. According to the South China Morning Post, Frank Mars, the founder of Mars Inc., started the company's journey in 1911 after learning how to dip chocolates by hand. Soon after, Frank started selling candies from his Tacoma, Washington kitchen. Before the Great Depression, which struck the country between 1929 and 1941, he saw considerable financial success. Following his marriage to Ethel and the birth of their son, Forrest Sr., and purchased a $20,000 Duesenberg town car. Nevertheless, the family persisted in their candy business endeavors and produced the first chocolate nougat, which served as the model for Milky Way and Snickers chocolate bars. One of the wealthiest families in the world, the family's total estimated private wealth as of April 2020 was over $126 billion. Number 4. The family of Rockefeller. One must understand the origins of one of the wealthiest families in America to appreciate their fortune. As is the case with many significant commercial triumphs, the Rockefellers' narrative begins modestly. It begins in the 1850s in Cleveland, Ohio, where the family of young John D. Rockefeller moved after relocating from upstate New York as a result of John D.'s father's wanderings as a traveling salesman. Despite having no formal education, young John studied accounting and eventually became a commodities dealer, specializing in grains and other products. The Civil War, which erupted just as Rockefeller was starting his business career, contributed to his and his partner's success. You guessed it. An oil refinery was eventually bought with the money made from this endeavor. Rockefeller and Standard Oil went on to dominate the oil business as a result of their astute administration. In 1911, the U.S. government took notice of Standard Oil and ordered its dissolution. Little was done to harm Rockefeller's finances by this maneuver. He was given an equal part of the 34 baby standards that were developed, although having actually retired from daily operations in the late 1890s. As you may be aware, John D. Rockefeller's only son, John Jr., inherited the majority of his money upon his passing. To guarantee that Rockefeller's descendants would continue to live as only Rockefellers can, a trust was established in addition to several other organizations intended to handle the family finances. The male heirs of the fortune, together with other influential trustees, still manage the trusts and provide yearly stipends to the numerous Rockefeller heirs. A large portion of this fortune is being managed and pooled at Rockefeller and Company, where David Rockefeller, Jr., serves as chairman. However, don't let this deceive you into believing that the responsibility ends here. Many of the hundreds of businesses and trusts include J.P. Morgan Chase as a trustee, which is not unexpected given that David Rockefeller oversaw Chase Manhattan Bank for many years. The situation is further complicated by the fact that John D. Rockefeller and his brother William are said to have more than 150 direct descendants. In reality, 73 out of 78 adult direct descendants of John D. Rockefeller spearheaded the effort to petition ExxonMobil's present management to alter the company's operations starting in 2004. The family's eldest surviving member and the grandson of its founder. In fact, in his article for the Wall Street Journal, "Do the Rockefellers Still Matter?" Robert Frank states, with more than 150 living blood relatives of John D. Rockefeller Sr., many members of the latest generation of the family, known as the fifth, sixth generation, aren't likely to be able to live off their dwindling family trusts, according to people close to the family. The sheer number of Rockefeller descendants makes it very difficult, if not impossible, to determine the family's true fortune. We can only speculate because it is entangled in hundreds of trusts and real estate holdings, including the World Trade Center and Rockefeller Center in the past. According to the most recent Forbes 400 list, patriarch David Rockefeller has a net worth of $3.1 billion. According to Forbes, Rockefeller's fortune was $318.3 billion in current currency. You read correctly. Standard Oil's founder, John D. Rockefeller, was more than 3 times as wealthy as Bill Gates is now. The Rockefeller family continues to be a powerful force. Number 3, we have the Walton family. As of December 2024, the Walton family, an American family, is the richest family in the world and among the richest families in history because of their combined wealth from Walmart. Since 2001, the 3 most well-known surviving members, Jim, Rob, and Alice Walton, have continuously been in the top 20 of the 400 list. Christy Walton replaced her husband, John, in the ranking following his passing. Bud and Sam Walton were co-founders of Walmart, and their legacy accounts for much of the family's fortune. With little over 2.2 million workers, Walmart is the biggest private employer in the world, the biggest retailer in the world, and one of the biggest corporations in the world in terms of yearly sales. The investment holding firm Walton Enterprises holds the majority of the Walton family's fortune. The Waltons controlled 50.8% of Walmart as of December 2014. A $250 million gift from Alice and Jim Walton was used in 2016 to construct buildings for charter schools. The Building Equity Initiative was established by the Walton Family Foundation to give charter schools access to funding for the construction and expansion of their buildings. One of the oldest, richest, and most illustrious families in history is the Rothschild family. Over the decades, the family, which has its roots in banking, has expanded its riches via several ventures, maintaining its substantial financial and political influence. Given the size and spread of the Rothschild family, estimating their net worth is challenging. According to Business Insider, the group's estimated net worth is as much as $1.2 trillion. Number 1. The Saudi royal family. The discovery of oil in the country in the 1930s is the reason for the prosperity of the Saudi royal family. The majority of the family's fortune has come from oil, which has been their primary source of revenue ever since. The largest oil business in the world, Saudi Aramco, is a state-owned enterprise under the administration of the Saudi government. Oil sales profits have been utilized to sustain the royal family's opulent lifestyle, as well as several government projects and activities. The Saudi royal family is well known in the commercial sector in addition to its oil earnings. The family has stakes in a variety of sectors, including Bing, technology, and real estate. The Kingdom Holding Company is one of the royal family's most well-known enterprises. It owns stakes in businesses including Citigroup, News Corporation, and Twitter. The royal family is also engaged in several other commercial endeavors, such as building opulent hotels and extensive infrastructure projects. The kingdom has several social and economic difficulties despite the Saudi royal family's wealth. To solve these issues and diversify the economy away from its dependency on oil, the government has been enacting several changes in recent years. The royal family's exorbitant spending has persisted despite these measures, as seen by tales of ostentatious acquisitions like expensive automobiles, yachts, and private planes. Some have criticized this, arguing that the royal family's expenditures are out of proportion to the demands of the general populace. The wealth of the Saudi royal family is anticipated to continue to be substantial in the years to come, notwithstanding the difficulties the country has endured. The family has made large investments in a variety of companies and sectors that should yield large profits in the future. But there are also worries about the oil industry's future, since some analysts believe that oil demand will fall. The way Mohammed bin Salman handles these difficulties and the degree to which he succeeds in diversifying the economy and luring in new investments will determine the Saudi royal family's net worth in the future. With an estimated net worth of more than $1.4 trillion, the Saudi royal family is among the richest families in the world. Beyond their enormous wealth, the world has been changed by the 5 richest families in history. For decades, their impact has transformed communities, sparked economic revolutions, and determined the rise and fall of empires. These families have shown that riches and power can coexist for generations, whether via calculated marriages, financial breakthroughs, political scheming, or pure ambition. However, they left behind cautionary tales as well as tales of riches. Because of poor management, outside influences, or changing economic conditions, several families saw their fortune evaporate. Others were able to remake themselves by adjusting to new political environments and industries. Their pasts show that although tremendous wealth may be amassed, it takes skill in influence, foresight, and tenacity to sustain it across many generations. One question still stands when we consider these dynasties. Who will be the next to join them? The wealth landscape is evolving at a time of swift financial and technological change. Will the financial tycoons and IT giants of today create dynasties that are comparable to the great riches of the past? Or will history repeat itself, demonstrating that time may affect even the most powerful fortunes? Power, ambition, and the forces that form civilization itself are all themes in the tales of the wealthiest families in history. Additionally, their legacies will continue to inspire, captivate, and caution others who aspire to follow in their footsteps as long as money is a motivating factor in human affairs. So, what do you think? Which of these families had the most lasting impact? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you love exploring the stories behind power, money, and influence, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. There's more to come. Stay tuned.